what's going on, guys? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Building Empires Network. You got your special host, Andrea Cruz, and Miss Lady in Red, Christina Franco.
It's the month of love, Andrea says.
That's right. That is right. And we have a special guest, Mr. Luke Wong. Mr. Luke Wong started with real estate, and he also had his own brokerage. And now he's doing he's into storage. So, Luke, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got started in this journey of real estate.
Thanks, Andrea and Christina. So good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while, and always a pleasure. I forgot
Thank
my
you.
red. I should have worn my red too. Everybody else has their red.
I know. I didn't.
Everybody's going to be wearing red by the middle of the month.
Yeah,
George
tomorrow.
showed up.
George is wearing red.
Yeah,
And I did have a red
He's got
shirt.
a red jacket.
I know.
No love.
Yeah.
No love.
That's funny.
All love.
All love.
All love.
So briefly about myself. So Luke Wong came to Houston in 2001 is when I really started getting into real estate. I got licensed. I was working with a relative doing land acquisitions for residential subdivisions. They're still active. They do subdivisions kind of like outside the Beltway. I mean, like 100 acres, 500 acres, 20 acres. I would help acquire the land.
Okay.
And do that process. Did that for about 10 years, and then went into the single family space, renovating and wholesaling, me and my dad, and did that for, that's probably a good 5 years. And then I was telling you earlier, so I got some health issues. I got hit with black mold.
Yeah.
So I got really, really sick, hospital sick. And while I was in the hospital, my dad passed.
Oh, man.
So we kind of those year or two were kind of blurry. Had to renovate the house, remediate, disclose, sell it, start over, threw all of our personal belongings away, and kind of started over. So at that time, I was doing renovations. Everything was going well. That was about 2015, 16. And back then you could buy something and then put it on the market. 2 weeks later, it's gone and
Right.
above asking. So everything was good. And then we had a little slowdown in oil, so it kind of stopped that price range. 400,000 ish. So then when I came out, getting back into things, the market was a lot different. So that's when I kind of just said, let me wholesale and see what's happening. So that's when I started wholesaling. And I was still a broker at that time. And then I started to go passively into commercial. And I didn't know exactly what commercial asset I wanted to get into, but I knew I wanted to go into commercial. So I invested passively into a shopping center here in Houston with an operator. And then I invested a storage facility in Conroe with a different operator. And then I invested passively in an apartment complex in Dallas with a different operator. So these were all syndications. So I got to see kind of behind the scenes, one, the asset class, two, the different management styles, and how everything interacts. So I've got returns. They've sold the storage center, so I got returns on that. That went well. The apartment did really well. I got that back. That's the shopping center is still going. So, and those were all in Texas. So I got a good feel of different asset classes and kind of learned that way.
Right.
And then I wanted to focus on one. And it was kind of a toss up between apartments or storage, which one I wanted to. And I think storage just fit my personality better.
Right.
Less management intensive. And so I joined Scott Myers. I know you probably know him from CG. I went to his academy, joined the mastermind, took down the first facility in 2020 with the good old wholesaling technique, the yellow letter.
Right.
Got that owner financed.
Nice. Man, we got to go back to the basics.
Yeah.
No, exactly. I even got a testimonial from the lady who since paid her off.
For owner finance?
Yeah, just in case I need it. I haven't edited it yet, but so fast forward to now, I've partnered with a bigger group of just individuals, no syndications. And so now I'm up to 5 facilities,
Nice.
and they're all within 3.5 hours from Houston.
Nice.
Nice.
self manage, remotely manage. I got one VA that helps me.
That's awesome.
Man, we need to get on Luke's level. He
I
looks
know,
happy, skinny.
I
Damn. See what storage does to you versus real estate.
Yes,
Still,
man.
yeah, still grinding every day though. So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course,
Mhm.
of course.
But I think it's more of a controlled grind, right? Because you know that something's coming in. You're not having to hustle as hard, I think.
Well, yeah, I haven't got to that point yet where I
Mhm.
can turn the hustling down. I don't think I'll ever retire because
No,
it's
Right.
just
never
our
will.
personalities. I think we don't retire.
Mm-mm.
Always do something, but it's more of a sure, slow build.
Right.
So at a certain point, it will come to a point where I don't have to. And hopefully, my goal is 5 years. I won't have to do any of that stuff,
Right.
any more hustling if I don't want to. But I will still be,
Mm-hmm.
always.
On the
I just
grind.
love the chase.
I love
and the deal.
creating things.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
I love that. I don't know if I can ever stop looking at something like, what can I create out of this? You know?
Yeah.
We were doing roller rings yesterday.
Oh my God.
We were doing skating rings yesterday. We were having lunch, and she was like, we were talking about having something more residual, and she was like, I want a skating ring, and my husband looked at her like, oh shit, Christina wants a skating
I know.
ring.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh my God, on the way over here, like I was doing a whole business plan. And that's the thing, we don't stop.
It's like my brain is ready to create something.
Yeah,
you
our
know? I
brains
can't
don't
help
stop.
it.
You
Our
go on
brain-
vacation and you go, well, let's go look at that property.
Right?
Right?
Yeah.
And
Yes.
my kids are like, oh, do we have to go over there?
Yeah.
You want to go driving? Are we going to stop anywhere? I go, well, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's just different. I'm still,
Mhm.
plugging in every day and making things work. Still doing some land deals.
Mhm.
Really can't mess with the houses anymore
Yeah.
just because of the health issue.
Mhm.
But I think that's honestly,
It's scary.
you're going with less stress because of that. So that actually took you away from finding like land. It's you still gotta chase, but it's easier than selling a house.
Yeah,
You know?
Right.
yeah.
It's
Mhm.
easier is what I'm saying. So that probably was a good thing that you got pushed in that direction
Mhm.
because it seems like with the health issues, like I can't take on too much too.
Mhm.
Anyways, you know.
Or I can't go into those environments
Yeah.
because I mean, you see some of these houses you go into. Some of them are.
that mold.
Oh, we were
Yeah,
in
I
one
mean,
yesterday.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
the asbestos and all
Yeah.
that.
I was like, shit, Andrea, there's asbestos here. You're like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's
Texas is-
that and all kinds of stuff in here.
Yeah. And after a while, I mean, depending on your gene makeup, your body can only take so much, and after a certain amount of times. But then also, I was explaining to Andrea, I was like, if you're allergic to peanut butter,
Yeah.
like if you go into a moldy environment, I could be deadly sick. You could be fine, just like
Yeah.
peanut butter.
Right.
So it's a lot about gene makeup also. There's some
Okay.
places I can't go into now, just because I feel it
Mhm.
right away. And Texas is very just the environment. It's number
Yeah.
one,
Mhm.
and then I think number two is Florida.
Mhm.
But no, so I just growing and through the process and learning and enjoying the journey and just keep on going as we all do.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And tell us, like with storage, kind of how does that process works, versus a single family or a multifamily? What's the difference between the storage and the pros and cons, I would say?
So one thing, multifamily and storage, I'll do that one first. The difference to me, the management intensive. I think there's a lot more apartments. There's probably bigger numbers because these people are paying $1,000 rents instead of $100 rents.
Right.
But one thing I put myself into the position is if the management goes down, then who's going to have to step in?
Right.
Me, and I don't want to be managing apartments
Mhm.
because that's just a lot of drama.
Right.
It's for some people, it's not for me. But if you hire the right third-party management company, or if that's your thing, I mean, I know a lot of successful people doing that. It's just again, it wasn't fit for me.
Mhm.
Storage is again, I remotely manage everything with one VA
Right.
from my phone and from my iPad.
That's awesome.
And if something catastrophic happens, wind, fire, whatever, you're not displacing somebody out of their home. So they're not like, it's not like that big of a drama going on.
Mhm.
Or if you have to evict somebody, you're just
Mhm.
auctioning their stuff off that they probably haven't seen in 2 years, don't even know what's
Right.
in there. Or you
Mhm.
open the unit, there's maybe like 5 boxes.
Right.
But if you have to evict somebody in the apartment complex, you're displacing that family.
Right.
One, you feel bad. Two,
Yeah.
you don't know the situation. Three,
Mhm.
they're gonna fight you tooth and nail because they need a place to live.
Yeah.
But again, there's multifamilies
Mhm.
huge.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of money to be made. I mean, and tons of people making good money in it. I
Mhm.
just what felt right for me.
Mhm.
Storage is month to month,
Mhm.
so you can adjust rates as needed.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's quick to get somebody out. Like
Mhm.
within 30, 45 days, you can have them out.
Mhm.
Even though I mean it's really not beneficial really to go to auctions. It just takes a lot of time. You really don't make any money. So we try to work it out with everybody.
Mhm.
Because it's their stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's never
Right.
going to be the value of somebody else, and the time it takes and the money that the facility receives is not much.
Right.
So just like everything else, just try to systemize it and technology as much as we can. And you know, our main objective here is to get a facility that's like 30,000 square feet
Mhm.
and up, rentable, and then have that facility be able to double in size.
Right.
So if they have,
If you want more space, like
Mhm.
to be able to add more.
yeah, to expand.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So to expand physically with new buildings,
Mhm.
and then also just to increase the management and technology.
Right.
And with those two, and then you have rate adjustments if depending on where you're at when you buy the facility.
Mm-hmm.
So those are kind of the value adds. I haven't done any ground up as of yet. First
Mhm.
ground up will be Magnolia, would be the expansion that I'm working on now.
Mhm.
Um, but we'll do one of those soon, or brand new ground up.
Mhm.
It's just that's a different animal too, because it takes probably
Time.
2+ years to get your money back
Mhm.
in. Because then you got to buy the land, you got to permit it, you got to
Yeah.
build it, then you got to start leasing it up.
Mhm.
So
Right.
you don't
It's
see
gonna take a while.
a return.
I think it would be better just to find them already done.
Mhm.
Yeah, because if you buy
Yeah.
it right, you got cash flow day one.
Right.
Right.
Mhm.
And for the houses, again, that's another good asset class. Again, for me, kind of got burnt out a little
Yeah.
I
bit
can see that.
Mhm.
and wanted something different. But it's like houses or apartments. It's, I guess, economies of scale.
Right.
It's like you got 500 units at this one facility, or you got one house,
Right.
or 20 houses that are not or scattered.
Mhm.
So it's just labor management intensive, I guess, in that
Right.
sense. And then you still got the toilets.
Yeah. Yeah. In the middle of the night.
And then over here you don't because there's no toilets. Just
No, some of the majority of the facilities don't have any plumbing.
Mhm.
Or just well, they have maybe a hose, but no bathrooms.
well, hey, where's the assistant gonna use the restroom?
Yeah.
They're like,
There's
but you
always a
guys-
tree somewhere.
I know,
There's
right?
always a tree.
No, but you guys don't have nobody because the storage they have like somebody working it in the front all the time. You guys don't have nobody.
No. So a perfect example is the facility in Magnolia. It's like very, very nice.
Mhm.
I would say class B plus, class A. So they had a office up front where they sat in there, 8 to 5,
Mhm.
rent U-Hauls, had boxes for sale,
Mhm.
and the place was like 95% full.
Right.
And what does that person really do all day long? I mean, you're
Mhm.
paying their salary,
Mhm.
and at a certain point, they don't really have anything to do.
Right.
So we remotely managed it, and then we rented that office to a doctor. So
Mhm.
now it's a doctor's office.
Nice,
Oh, nice.
smart.
Yeah.
Very smart.
And so that one does have a bathroom, and
Mhm.
Well, there you
that's
go.
the one that will give
I'm
you
hoping
trouble.
that doctor has somewhere to go use the restroom.
Yeah.
Boy, you don't want that doctor working on you.
Hurry up! I gotta go.
Be like, doctor, what's that your
There's
story?
there's a restaurant next door. You can go over there.
Yeah.
So that's that way. Having less employees or no employees.
Right.
And I got staff, including me, checking on the facilities, but manning the phones and internet. With technology these days, it's just a lot of
that's
stuff
where
can be
it's
done.
It's going.
Everything's virtual. You can even watch your property virtually. Wake up instead of driving way over there.
It's
Just
kind of sad.
zoom and scan. Yeah.
We were talking about that
Mhm.
that chat GPT, how I feel like the government wants to make us useless because Like now it's like we have a robot who's gonna do. We don't gotta think. We don't gotta learn how to spell. We don't gotta learn how to write. We don't gotta learn how to talk because we're like, hey, do this for us. Do this for us. So I feel like they're making us so like handicapped. So then when something bad happens, the world's gonna be like, oh God, ChatGPT help.
They won't know how to respond. Yeah.
They're like, we
Yeah.
can't help you, or no,
Yeah.
like they're gonna take control over you because you're dumb. They're smart, you know.
Yeah.
So y'all be careful. Don't let them do everything. Because if
Don't
we
let
don't
them
use it,
control
we
it all.
lose it.
We lose
you
it.
know?
We lose
We
it.
don't
Exactly.
think for ourselves no more. We can't make decisions no more.
And just the
So,
human touch. I mean,
just
just
pay
like,
attention to what's
That
happening.
is so important, the human touch, because
Mhm.
during COVID, so many people lost that. You know, I mean, everybody would just look at you.
Not
and
me,
you
girl.
felt
I'm at home with 6 kids.
no, but I mean, you know, out in public, you know, we're very
Right.
huggy and
Yeah.
whatever, and people lost that
Yeah.
human touch, that human connection, you know, and that's what I'm afraid of, that things are going that way. I read over that GPT and I was like, wow, okay, we're eliminating it all already.
That's-
Right.
it's
Oh yeah, it's like we
incredible.
don't have to think anymore to do
Mm-mm.
anything. I
No,
mean, we replaced everything. We are like, hey, do this. No more us trying to figure it out. I mean, it's good, but
yeah.
we're gonna become dumb
Yeah.
because we don't gotta think. I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Over time, we'll be all right.
We'll be all right.
You're just like the Jetsons. It's not too far off, huh? You
It's
have
that-
Rosie going around.
We were talking about that.
I'm waiting
I
for
want a
that
Rosie.
cleaning robot. Man, whoever makes that, that's the
You got
first
it.
one. I'm
You
gonna
got
get
it.
Yeah, I want a Rosie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or two.
exactly. A nanny, imagine.
Yeah.
Everything.
A cook.
It's.
I
I think
know.
it's coming.
But then again, you lose part of yourself.
You
Yeah.
do. You lose everything because
Yeah.
they're pretty much everything is being. And I think the reason why they're doing that is so they can have more control over you.
Yeah.
Because then,
Yeah.
you know,
They can turn it off and on.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like,
turn
oh my
me
God,
off
I don't know how to open the door.
Yeah.
What do I do?
I don't know how to cook.
Well, I know a lot of those right now. They lost that a long time ago. I don't know how to cook.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And that's
I
the-
know they had that funny meme whenever it was for COVID.
Uh-huh.
They had that meme was like, let me reintroduce myself. My name is Stove. Like meaning like
Yeah.
because nobody cooked before, but now it's like everyone had to go back to cooking, and it's like let me reintroduce. My name is Stove.
I'm not just an
Yeah.
ornamental
I know
value.
I'm not just here
What
just
is,
to be
what
here,
is that thing?
right? What's it do? That was a heater.
Oh my God.
I mean, the kids these days, a lot of them don't know
No.
some of the things that we grew up with.
Yeah. Hey, but your boys were making some good little cookies at one time.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
still cook, not as much. I mean,
Yeah.
he's still more, he's 13, so he's
Yeah.
social.
Yeah.
But they still, my little girl still cooked a cake that I can't eat because, I'm following my routine.
Mhm.
But yeah, and part of the thing is cooking is enjoyable because you get to eat while you're cooking,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm. Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I've been
That's how I
trying to
eat.
do. Yeah, just
While
eat
I'm cooking.
clean.
Yeah, I'm
Stick
full
it
by
on
the time
there.
it's ready.
Yeah.
I'm like, I ate. You guys,
I got a little
Go
bit
ahead.
of everybody's plate.
So let me ask you this, Luke. Coming in, like you started in real estate because you were a realtor, then broker. You were a realtor first, right?
yeah, I think I got licensed when I was 18, very
Mhm.
young, but never really did anything because my family's always been in real estate.
Yeah.
I had it.
Yeah. So going from that to broker and then wholesale, how was that transition for you?
So I've never really been, I guess, a traditional realtor where, going showing houses.
Mhm.
It was mostly for our deals or like
Right.
for friends.
Mhm.
And even the brokerage, it was when the wholesaling company that I really actually sponsored people.
Yeah.
Before that, it was just for the stuff that we bought.
Mhm.
So in that sense, yeah, it wasn't a right fit for me. That kind of setup.
Yeah.
Mhm. Now, on the sponsoring, now you said it was for the wholesale company. So did you have like agents just kind of come under you and call, or?
Yeah, so they were there. Most of them were licensed, if not all, and they were the acquisitions and disposition agents.
Because they're already doing that anyways, right?
Yeah, whether you needed a license or not, we just always thought it was good to have.
Mhm.
It never, where people say, "Well, you don't want to have it because then you got to disclose." Well, I'm like, well, we're disclosing everything anyway. We're not hiding anything.
Right.
It's what it is. I think it gives you a leg up because now you've been fingerprinted and you've been checked, and so when you go to the public, you're like, I'm not just anybody off the street. You
Right.
can check my track and go check if any violations or anything's
Mhm.
on there. And I know a little more around it what's happening, and whether and I can list it for you. Or,
Right. Right.
Mhm.
Nice. And how was that paid? Did you pay him or was it just commission?
No, so yeah, it was commission.
Mhm.
That's pretty smart though to do,
Yeah.
because it's better to do all commission. Because if they don't make money, they don't make money.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay out of pocket. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, and some of them are able to do that, and some aren't. Some of
Yeah.
them like that salary.
Mhm.
But now I don't have any employees, which I like.
Yeah.
I can see that.
You look so much.
I know you look good, Luke.
Um,
So
Hey, we over here look like we're falling apart, and you already look.
I
all
was
good put
running
together.
in. Yeah.
no, but I mean, I do have VA. I mean, I do have help. It's just not employee. Not to say
Yeah.
that it won't change,
Right.
because maybe that is maybe part of maybe hurting my growth. I don't know,
Mhm.
but I just feel that's me. If I do get a team back, I want to keep
think
it small.
Everything at its time,
Yeah.
you know.
Mhm. So let's talk about your clubhouse. You have a clubhouse, right? A clubhouse account. Y'all run a clubhouse.
So yeah, we do a self-storage clubhouse. Me, James, and Deanie, these other two folks that I started it with. So it's a weekly clubhouse show, audio only, every Tuesday, 9 a.m. Central. We just talk about self-storage.
Nice.
Yeah.
I forgot all about Clubhouse.
Yeah, I know because nobody really uses
When you said Clubhouse, the first thing that popped in my head was Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
but-
Yeah.
Dude, I'm like, wait, what are we talking about?
Yeah.
You've got little ones.
I know. I swear, I'm over here. The first day, I'm like, Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. What?
You built a treehouse.
I know. That is funny. I forgot all about that
Yeah.
app.
No, but yeah, I mean, if you're in the car, I mean, you can turn it on, listen to it, and there's sessions that are recorded. You just gotta go into the person's bio and listen to it. But we have guest speakers the majority of the time, whether it be a ground up builder, a guy that sells the portable buildings, the feasibility study, the people that does cost segregation. So some of it applies just to storage, but some of it applies to commercial. Owner operators. So you get a little bit of, and then you get a chance to answer. It's an hour, so you can ask questions.
Yeah.
You get the state association on there, so it's a good way to get introduced and learn and ask some questions, and especially if you're also in the car, and then you don't gotta put your lipstick on or anything. It's audio only. It's like a live podcast.
Yeah. That is awesome. Yeah, because I see sometimes your clubhouse pops up and then I try to like listen and I haven't learned how to figure it out yet. I'm Mickey Mouse on that.
So
It's funny because I'm like, I don't even, that one either.
Right? Don't lie, girl. You don't know.
I'm over here like, yeah, I don't know.
Because if we knew, we'd be on there.
So it's just a Clubhouse app you got to download on your phone. It
Okay.
used to be invite only, but now it's for everybody. So you fill out your profile. It's going to just ask you your information. Once you have the account, you can press it and it'll open up to like what shows are happening now. And there's so many shows. It could be a gardening show or he has it. How
Okay.
to tint cars, or probably there's a lot of AI talk right now. Or
I need to get in there.
women real
Yeah.
estate only. And you'll recognize some of the people there. And some of them host it consistently. Some of them just pop up and you just enter the room and just listen.
Wow.
And then you can, if they
Okay,
open,
listen up, y'all.
and if you
here.
want to ask a question, if they open it up, you just raise your hand and then they can bring you up to talk. So there's not like 10 people talking at the same time. It's who's ever on the panel can come up and talk.
See,
So-
that's when I got out because I was like I thought the hand was the high five. And I kept
Oh
going
my
like
God,
that.
you are.
And yes. And then that's when they're like, are you ready to speak? Are you ready to speak?
Yeah.
And I was like, get out. I was like, oh my God, what did I do? Now I know.
They were bringing you up and you're like, oh shit.
What do I say? Like, oh my God.
Hey,
I was just giving you a high five.
What's up? I'm out of town, everybody.
Yeah. This
So
lady
that's
wants
the
to speak.
So
Come on,
that's
yes.
the hand.
To raise your hand to speak.
It's not a high five.
If you just want to, they're changing it every day, so maybe one day it's gonna be high five.
Okay. Okay. Well,
But
now
maybe
I
it's
can
a
get
high
back
five, I
in.
wanna speak.
Now that I know how to use
Well, you
it.
can just sit there and listen.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe
just
you
don't
should
high
just
five.
do that. Don't touch nothing. Just sit there, listen.
Don't high five.
But back in the early days, I mean, I don't know if
That's
it's
too
not
funny.
maybe it's lost its but it's still some good content out there.
Mhm.
We enjoyed. I learned a lot because a lot of these expertise that I don't do every day, I'm learning and taking notes and refreshing myself.
Mhm.
But back in the day, I used to be in the same room as like Grant Cardone, and you would
Right,
be in there
I
talking,
remember talking to Grant Cardone. He was
Yeah.
speaking one time in there.
and some other big names that you'll see in there. It's just really anything you want to learn about. It's just
It's in
Well, it
there.
was a big
Go
deal when I
check.
came out, and then I somehow I don't guess I didn't get that up again.
I
on
raised
my
a
new
hand.
phone. I know.
I got scared.
That's funny.
But they can also push you out too.
No,
Oh,
you
really?
You sure they didn't get
They didn't
pushed out?
I
push
probably
you.
got pushed out and get her out of here.
this girl, get the lady in red out of here.
She don't shut up.
She keeps high fiving everybody.
Because also you'll get spammers in there. People just come in and start trying to either they'll just sabotage your group and start just cursing or doing whatever,
Oh
or
my
they'll start
God.
spamming people like text because there's like a chat in there,
Mhm.
and then you gotta remove them.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and sometimes they're like, you just don't know how they got in there. It's like, how did you get in there? Sometimes you have to stop the room and restart the room because
Oh,
you can't get them
wow.
out.
Yeah.
It's just like anything else. Like, yeah, one of my
and I gotta evict people from the down from there.
yeah.
So let's go into the mind of the storage facility buyer. What are you looking for when you start to source those things? Like what attracts you to the purchase of that? Because like I know sometimes it's kind of hard because the numbers are lower. The commitment to a lease is month to month most of the time, right?
Mhm.
So what do you look for?
So I look for that size.
Mhm.
One has to be a certain size, like 30,000 square feet and up. Because if you do like starting off any size or anybody else, they might have a different. I have friends that have just small facilities all around. And they're happy with that. But so I look at certain size just because if you're going to put your time into, it's like doing a rehab. If you're going to put your time into 500 square foot house or 3,000 square foot house, almost about the same amount of time, but the return is going to be a lot different.
Right.
But the time you spent. So the same thing with that is that it's got to be worth your time to be going into that facility and really want to run it. Double in size, but then you look for things that are under market rent. Maybe things that are leasing for $60 that you see maybe could be reached at $100 per unit. Usually mom and pops that are old school, maybe no website, they're running it themselves.
Right.
The facility probably could use some work, updating. Maybe it doesn't have a gate or automated doors, or just needs a facelift. Anywhere we could add value, just like a house.
Right.
So, but it has to be in a good area. You still want to check out the area, but you can do that by different studies, demand studies, but also just if you call around the competition, if everybody's full, then
There's
you
a
know
chance.
there's probably a demand for it, and then you check that any permits are being issued to anybody else, because the last thing you want to do is go in there and then public storage comes right next to you and the extra space comes right next to you, and those guys can just they're so big they can just. I have a friend that works for Life Storage. He said public storage is so big, they'll just build a store, get it certificate of occupancy, lock it till they're ready to open up. So they have holding power. They get like almost money for free.
Damn.
So you really can't compete with those. They'll squeeze you out.
Right.
So you want to check if that's in the works. So we play in like the secondary, tertiary markets where it's not, Midtown Houston or 610 Houston, Galleria
Right.
Houston. Yeah, we
Stay away from
Yeah,
those
we stay
areas.
away from that area. But mainly value add in the price, making a facility look a little nicer, expansion. Because as you know, in commercial, once every little bit of income you get and decrease in expenses makes a difference in the NOI, which
Right.
then dictates the price.
Right.
So any which way you can have an impact on that,
Mm-hmm.
that's
That's
kind of
gonna
what
be
we
good.
look for.
Mhm.
And then what I'm doing now is more long-term holds.
Mm-hmm.
So these are not, buy and flip in 2 years.
Right.
Not to say it won't happen, but
Mm-hmm.
right now the vision is just to hold them long term.
Mm-hmm.
So you can look at it in that sense. There's big syndicators out there that are looking to hold things 3 to 5 years and spin it off and go do the next one.
Right.
So that's their model, but
Mm-hmm.
so everybody has a different model.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Some people like the Class A, big 3-story, 4-story.
Have you bought indoor facility?
I have climate control.
Climate control. That's what it's called. Yeah.
Yes,
Mhm.
but I haven't gone multi-story.
Okay.
So the first one will be the expansion of Magnolia. That one's the first part will be drive up, and the second part will be climate controlled, 2-story.
Nice.
Now, do you do any kind of marketing to get them rented? Or
So the facilities usually there, so they already have a good client base. The main thing is to Google. Make sure you're good with Google and Google reviews. Just like anything else, when you're looking for restaurants,
Yeah.
I mean, storage is 3 to 5 miles, right? So
Mhm.
usually you're looking, what's 3 to 5 miles from me? And
Mhm.
so that's your competition. And
Mhm.
then you want to make sure that they can find you on the web, but accessible by the street. So
Right.
they get drive by, but a lot of it from your phone, because you can look on it, you look at the reviews, you can rent right from the phone,
Mhm.
and everything's just waiting for you to go. So
Okay.
you don't even have to talk to a person,
Mhm.
nice.
which is nice. You see a little thing on your phone, somebody rented this, and then, I mean, it's getting more and more that way.
less
where-
people to talk to.
Yeah.
Yeah, and some people, especially COVID, they didn't want to talk to anybody.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it feels like that sounds like that's like a really good recession-proof business because you're not. Say it happens COVID, you don't got to talk to people. People need storage.
Mm.
If tornadoes, hurricanes happen, people still need a storage for to
Mhm.
put their stuff. So it's
Yeah.
like a pretty good business.
Yeah.
Yeah, some people did really well, or even had the best year during COVID.
Yeah, I could see that.
Did
Yeah.
you have U-Hauls at your
No.
facilities? No.
No.
You know, Andrea and I went to a place where the guy has the U-Haul. It's all virtual. They just do a reservation.
Yeah.
And pick it up and then drop it off, and that's it. And I'm like, wow, that's weird. Because I remember when you used to do U-Haul, you had to walk it, check it, all this stuff, and it took about an hour to do it. And now it's like 5 minutes. Blink.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of people were adding U-Hauls because we were thinking about adding U-Hauls at our because we got a Shepherd location now. It's big, and so we're like, some people don't have a truck, so we're like, maybe we'll just do U-Haul. We've been talking to them about that, and that virtual stuff is really neat.
So it's probably getting more and more like that. So the facility
Or
in Magnolia.
pods. You can
Yeah.
get pods.
Oh yeah, the pods.
I
Mhm.
think pods will be better because there's always things happen. There's always flood. There's always fire. There's always things that are happening. So people always need somewhere to put their stuff, or
Yeah.
things like that.
No, I mean, you see those. That's a whole different market too. I have a friend that's in California. He does units, and he's expanding in that platform. He does traditional, but then he bought a units.
Yeah.
And
And I like it because you don't deal with people. You don't deal with all of that. I mean, this smart to go. I know people like the whole fact I have 1,000 unit, but then I also like 100 headaches. You know what I mean?
times two.
But I guess all of it is
Yeah.
however. But
But-
if it's easier, it's better.
Yeah, but you do go through the burnout. I know what he's saying. You go through the burnout. I mean, sometimes you just want a different type of communication with people. It's not always the kill. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, hey, how are you doing? And not knowing that there's an end goal to it or a hidden
I'm gonna
agenda.
get you.
Yeah, I'm gonna get you.
I'm gonna
A
get
hidden
you.
agenda. It becomes a friendly thing. That's why I've always kept the hardware store because you're there
To
for
be
what.
friendly customer
Yeah,
service.
you know a lot of people.
I like customer
a lot
service.
of connections. Yeah,
I like to greet people. Hey, how's it
Mhm.
going? Hey, how are
Yeah.
you?
But
because
shit.
you never know who you're gonna run into.
Exactly.
Yeah,
How
exactly.
you guys can help each other.
If
Yeah.
my job
Maybe.
can just go around greeting people, I'll be happy.
We're gonna be. That's it. We're
All
gonna
day.
we're gonna
Hey,
start
how's
a
it
greeting
going?
company.
Hey, how are you?
We are the greeters.
That's funny.
Greeters and huggers.
Yeah,
Exactly.
greeters and huggers. That's crazy that you say that because a friend of mine, she's a cuddler. People literally pay her to cuddle
That's
know?
funny. Okay, I saw that, and I
Yeah,
thought
I've
that
heard
was
about that too.
Yeah, she gets like 150 an hour to cuddle. Yeah.
what?
And they just sit there and rub his hair or hold his hand to watch TV. He's a cuddler. Yeah, 150
Man.
an hour. I told my husband 150. Want to watch TV with me?
Yeah.
150.
And I'm sure
Man,
you
people
get-
are making
you get dinner out
services of
it.
anything.
Yeah, rent a
Anything's a
chick.
service now. I'm your cuddler.
I'm
Hey,
your
I'm your
cuddler.
tickler. I'll just
I'm
be
a
here 1 hour. Would you like to hire me for an hour and I'll tickle
I got my
you?
tickler coming over at 1, my cuddler at 2.
My tickler.
And things are so crazy though. But I think people got so disconnected that became a thing.
Yeah.
You the cuddler. I didn't
The
know about
tickler.
tickler, but we got one up right there, Andrea. We're ticklers.
If you ever need a tickler out there, let me know.
Yeah. Back scratcher.
Right.
Yeah. Oh my
I'll pull
god.
out that spoon, the one that you scratch in the back.
Wooden
The
hand.
little hand.
The little wooden hand. We always say something stupid.
That is funny.
No, but it gets different. But I think, I know where you're coming from with the burnout. And that's why people always tell me that I'm always doing different things, because you get burnt out. You get burnt out on anything, and so it's like everything. You just get burnt out, So you just try something different. Let it wear itself down and do something else. I mean, we only got one life to live.
Mhm.
Live it as much as you want. Start over as many times as you need. Do whatever it is as much as you want, and just keep going. Go back and do whatever you feel.
I feel like do what pleases the soul.
that's it. That's it.
Whatever pleases your soul. If you're happy doing it, then do that.
Yeah, you're gonna see me and Andrea on some.
If you
roller
see me
skates.
greeting out there, hey, greeting out there, roller skating. Now that is my baby girl inspired me on that. And
Yeah.
I'm just the type that I like to give. And when I see like people smiling and like, oh, I'm having a good time out of something that you created, like you feel good. And you're like, I created that. Like those people are happy having a moment of their family because of something, an idea that you had.
You can't put a price on that too.
You
just,
can't.
Just with the emotions you see on that family together.
Yeah, you
Right.
can't.
And that's what I like to see. But yeah, the fact that you buy a storage unit, you don't deal with people, you don't do that. That's also nice too.
Yeah.
But I also like to see this, so it's kind of like, damn brain, why can't you go the easy way? Like,
Well,
I like to.
But I think
give
Luke
that
has
to-
it balanced because you still have properties. You still have rentals.
no, I got rid of the last residential rental.
You did?
So so
okay.
I'm trying to stay
Just
commercial.
Focus. Yeah.
But there's still, I mean, like anything else, there's still headaches, there's still
Mm-hmm.
problems, you're still just in a different way. I
Yeah.
think everybody has their own, and it's constantly changing,
Mm-hmm.
and still trying to grow and develop each day.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like you said, I think it's different, and just go out there, and this thing is never to give up.
Yeah. Find what your tune is.
Yeah. Have you found that now you have more time, more family time with this switch?
I do, but I'm
Mhm.
still just pushing it as hard. So,
Mhm.
but at least I can have a little bit more say so of when I can just say, okay, well, I'm taking the time off now.
Yeah.
But I'm still just as busy. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
to me right now, there's not enough time in the day.
Right.
But
Mm-hmm.
do as much as you can, and
Mm-hmm.
make sure trying to balance that the best you can with family too.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a constant work in progress.
Mm-hmm. That is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I saw you. You were jogging with your daughter not too long ago. Yeah, I think you were
Yeah.
walking down the street jogging. I was like, "That's good." Like I got to get there. I got to get there. But I've been going back, working out and doing
But
my
now I
thing.
see you. You've been right.
Yeah, I've been really
good.
trying to get it
That's
going.
good. Get it, girl.
Yeah.
I've been going, but the thing is that like I do need to learn how to balance things. But when I don't know, I feel like when I'm working out and doing stuff like that, I don't know, like my adrenaline runs different.
I
just
love
feel like
it.
it's just
I love
going.
working out.
Yeah, I'm in go mode.
Yeah,
and everything that
after
comes
that-
out at me, I'm just like.
I'm like a little crackhead. I'm like, I really am, because I'm just ready. Like,
Yeah,
what we got? It's 5 a.m. All right, guys,
let's go get my corn. Like, okay, Andrea,
I
let's
know,
go get the corn.
I know. I
Corn.
was telling Luke about it. I was telling Luke that I reward myself. I'm like, you got to do things that make you happy. I'm like, I like to go get a corn.
She gets a corn. If you ever see Andrea on Main,
I'm like, after
She's on
closing,
corn.
I'm
She's
like, I'm
going
gonna
to
get
get
me a
corn.
corn because that makes me happy. And
Yeah.
he's like, a
That's-
corn.
That's your ice cream. Yeah.
that's her ice
I
cream.
know. But hey, that makes me happy.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
Yeah,
Get your
so-
corn and figure out who
yeah.
you're gonna tickle next.
Exactly. All right. Be like, all right, I'm gonna pick up my corn and I'll be on my
Yeah.
way to tickle you.
And that's what
Yeah. Christine will be over at the cuddle with you after.
right after.
I know. I'll be the tickler. Just Christina will be the cuddler. That is hilarious.
It's funny.
It'd be like next thing, our next event will be like, how can you tickle and how can you cuddle?
We're gonna have to talk about this today, people. Oh,
We'll have a
man.
course on that.
Man,
That's
but it
funny.
is crazy.
Get 2 hours for 250.
Right?
No,
We'll tell
man.
you, yeah. We'll tell you how you can come out married.
Oh, shit, no. You don't want my marriage advice. I'll be like, nope. Man. But no, I see, I've seen you change. I mean, you've really like got into this and you went hard at it. Because it's hard to transition from something and step out of your comfort zone and just learn something new and then focus. It becomes a focus. Most people don't make it through. They just stop about a month or two in. They're just like, I don't think this is for me. I'm just gonna do something else, whatever. But honestly, you really stuck it out.
Yeah, I'm still sticking it out. And
Yeah.
just like we were talking about earlier, you never know where stuff is gonna come or what the explanation is. You just keep going. And
Mhm.
I mean, things just start happening whether you understand it or not.
Yeah. And you got a mentor for the storage
Yeah,
stuff? You did?
Scott Myers.
Okay.
So that really he helped me, take the first leap, and then
Mhm.
just like the first house you ever rehab.
Was
And
that
then
guy
after
too, that Dave Hale guy?
Yeah.
Is he in there as well?
No. So that's the guy I partnered with after I got that first facility.
Oh, I
And
see.
so now that
That guy looks like
has
he's
helped me
crushing it.
really grow. Yeah,
Mhm.
he's amazing, and yeah, he's crushing it. But yeah, he's
You should
I'm-
follow him. He's
David Hale?
yeah,
Dave Hale.
smart
Dave
guy, works hard,
Works
good
hard.
guy.
Mhm.
But
Has his
so-
mind on everything, right?
Yeah, he has his pulse and everything. And sometimes I really don't know how he does it, but
Mhm.
that's something else you learn as from what I was doing differently. Is the houses there's really not enough to go around because it's a house, but you're so used to you want to do your thing.
Mhm.
Once you open up to having partnerships with the right partner
Yes.
and the right
I
people, it
agree.
can take you so much further because it's a mutual respect and
Yeah.
of course finding the right partner, which I'm blessed that I've found that group and Dave, and he's built a amazing setup and group of people, and
I see that.
Mhm.
Very
Yeah.
strong.
Yeah, that is
powerful
awesome.
leader.
Yeah. So what would be your advice to me? Christina's got 2 acres and has been thinking about storage facility. I think listening to you every now and then from the clubhouse and what you said right now, I know it's in Cypress area. So there's a lot of HOAs in the area.
Mhm.
That's a good sign. A lot of HOAs, so you can't have junk outside. You got to have it somewhere. And, so that, is there a minimum requirement on square footage of land for that?
No, and it depends. Again, I haven't done a lot of brand new builds, but you got to look for how's the detention or because that's going to take away from your
Yeah.
usable land.
Okay.
And are you going to look at the competition around to see if there's room for that demand? But 2 acres is sizable.
Mhm.
The one in Magnolia is 5.24. We're occupying half.
Mhm.
That has almost 50,000 square feet, 1 story.
Mhm.
So if you need to, depending on how much they're charging for rent in that area,
Okay.
you could even do 2-story.
2-story.
Bring it up.
So just
Instead of wide.
yeah,
Right.
what you could do or a mixture.
Mhm.
It all depends what you want to do, or apartments
Mhm.
and then storage.
Mhm.
But just make sure you have it totally separate, because I think the apartment people like the apartments and the storage like the storage.
Mhm.
2 acres might be a little small, but just to give you an idea, I just work the numbers backwards.
Okay.
Zoning to see if there's zoning.
But that
Mhm.
would be a good
Or-
idea, the apartment with the storage, because those people are going to need somewhere to store something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear stories of that where little bigger acreage, but they build apartments and they build storage, and those
Mhm.
customers are pretty
Yeah,
much.
exactly.
Yeah, they're the
That's
same
the first thing
people.
that thought of my head. I'm like,
And
heck yeah.
some of them I've heard actually build the closets base small in the apartment complex.
For that reason.
Kind of,
That.
maybe for that reason,
Dang,
yeah.
they're wrong for that. But
Yeah.
okay, I'll take it.
Uh,
Thanks for the tip.
But yeah, I would just look at the demand one and then look
Yeah.
at reverse the numbers back and see what kind of rent people are getting
Okay.
for like a 10 by 10. Are they getting 125 or $100 or 60
Mhm.
bucks? And then to see what it's going to cost you to build it.
Okay.
And if it's what kind of restrictions
Mm-hmm.
there might be.
Yeah.
Because then you could also bring portables in where those. So we're expanding our facility. I've done that once already. We're doing another one
Mm-hmm.
where they're just portable buildings,
Mm-hmm.
8 by 20 boxes, but you can either have them one 8 by 20 unit or cut them up into two 8 by 10 units and just have them roll up doors.
Mm,
But it
okay.
looks like a storage building. You wouldn't know the difference.
The wood ones?
No, it's metal.
It is metal? Okay.
Yeah, if it's on the foundation, you might not
Mhm.
even tell difference. You didn't even know. But if they're usually placed on extra areas,
Mm-hmm.
maybe like the one we're doing in Tyler, it's on a pipeline easement, so we can't put anything permanent there.
Mm-hmm.
So we checked with them because you want to check with them to make sure we're not going to have any issues. And they're like, yeah, we just call us out there. I've already got the pipeline staked and probed, so they know what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
They just call us before you start digging. We're not going to dig. We're just going to scrape the grass off and put
Right.
the gravel and so forth. But we're able to move the building if we ever need to,
Mm-hmm.
because they actually have robots that go into the pipeline
Mm-hmm.
and check for, I guess, corrosion or whatever. And if they need to repair that, they need it repaired. So,
Yeah.
but as long as you're able to move it, they're good with that. So that's another area they have portables. It's not, depending on the city, they might enforce the building setbacks or
Mhm.
not.
Yeah.
It's taxed as personal property, so your real property taxes should be lower, and they can fit into some little weird spaces
Yeah.
instead of building. So
Thank
that's an
you.
option.
Yeah. Thank you.
2 acres is nice, sizable to do something.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been trying to just work with this one property. We just don't know what to do because right next door, across the street is a community center. And then there's the daycare that I used to own. And then it was a house that I have. I know you stopped that. She's making fun of me because I have so many businesses.
It's like she's on everything. in
Yeah.
here.
And then so right next door is where that acreage is left. It's a house that I used to live in and just kind of just went to crap because of the tenants. And I went over there the other day because they're like, they've got squatters in there.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God. So now we're just like, well, do we tear it down or what do we do?
Put a skating rink up front, a cuddle center in the front, and storage in the back.
I say we do a skating rink.
Yeah.
That's very in demand right now.
There you go, guys. Oh my God. We got investors for skating rinks.
Please. I already have the blueprint.
She
It's
sure
in my head.
My
It
neighbor,
is
my
in
old
her
neighbor,
head.
they had a skating rink, and now I think they leased it or sold it to made it into an AC warehouse.
Oh my God, on airline.
Yeah.
We were talking about that
Oh my
yesterday.
God,
Oh my
that's
God.
good.
I went after that property so hard and they just would never
Yeah, he
answer
was
me.
my old neighbor.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we would have known.
Where were
We
you
would have
guys?
been cuddling with him and then
And,
like,
and
"Oh,
skating
hey,
at the
neighbor.
same time.
Hey neighbor.
Oh,
No,
Yeah,
you're
there
tickling. I'm cuddling.
That's right.
No, that is crazy. We were just talking about that yesterday. I said, I tried so damn hard to get that skating rink. My husband could not get that thing out of my head. And I kept going and going and going. And
so I don't know if they bought it or just leasing it, but I
Mhm.
know that.
well, I know they tore it up. That's what I was telling you. They tore it up. The AC company went inside. And I mean, I got a good hookup with Floor Merchant for all my flooring, but it's like, damn, they tore it up. But yeah, we used to go there as kids. And so it was like I saw it and I tried to go for it. But yeah, so
Yeah, because if you think about it, there's not many skating rinks
There's
around.
no.
Because when I used to take my small kids,
Y'all
Yeah.
don't take
We would
my
have to go.
idea.
Yeah.
Don't take the idea away.
yeah,
Yeah, that is crazy. That is so crazy because we were just talking about that yesterday. And after we left, because her husband and my husband were there when we were eating lunch. And then after we left, my husband said, oh my God, I look at Andrea and George, and that's me and you. I said, yeah, I'm telling you.
That is
That's what it
too funny.
is.
there was one in Pasadena that we looked at. it a skating rink? I think it was a skating rink. It was.
Uh-huh.
We were me and a few other people. They brought it to my attention. We're looking at it for storage. So we did make a bid on it, but I think we were outbidded by somebody else.
Mhm.
But I can always see if that's still available.
Let me know. Let me know.
Because we looked into it and you could see all the old floors and everything. And yeah, it was in Pasadena.
That is crazy. Yeah, because that's our goal, guys. So if we have wholesalers out there and you want to flip a business, find
looking
us,
for a
find
skating
us
ring.
a skating ring.
Yes.
So we can have our little concession
There
stand
you
out
go.
there.
You guys will love it. We're gonna do like a 70s theme.
I'm
because
telling you,
it's
she
gonna
already
come-
wrote it.
I did. We'll do like adult night and then we'll have like family night. So that way they can like take turns, because the adults want to get down, but they feel like they can't because there's kids.
Yeah.
So we'll do it like take turns,
Yeah.
Gotta
Hey,
take
we
turns.
just might
8
be
o'clock,
having
adults
to,
only.
Exactly.
Yes.
Bye, kids.
It's like wait for our roller skating meetup, okay?
12 a.m. cuddlers only.
And then from 1 to 2 is the ticklers.
Ticklers.
Yeah.
The ticklers
Oh my
come out at
God.
night.
And then after that,
He's like, well,
Then after that, I don't know what's happening. It's
Yeah.
not cuddling and tickling no more.
open 24/7.
It's happy endings now.
Hush you.
That's funny.
Happy ending skating.
Yeah.
That's what we'll put our VAs in.
Ah,
We'll get Chat GPT to help us out.
Get
Get those robots.
Our algorithms are going to be going crazy later.
Like, we don't know who to target.
We're going to be like, oh, we said that. We said if any of these bots come out and look at our stuff, they're going to go crazy. They're going to go all scrupled because we look up so many different crazy things. I mean, come on, guys. We're looking at roller skating rings, concession stands, daycares, storage, lots. Our robots would be like,
Like, okay, who is this?
like,
person?
nah, fuck these humans.
They don't know what they want.
Yeah, I know. These humans are nuts. We need more robots.
I know exactly.
We're going to see signs going down the street, got robots.
I know.
Okay, now we know. Well, guys, we really want to thank you for your time. And we want to thank Luke for really coming out and sharing some light on something that's so different, that
Yes.
everybody is doing their one thing. They're swimming in the same pond. And he's that fish. He jumped out and he's a
He
shark
said, screw
now.
y'all, let y'all swim
Yeah,
here. I'm going to another pond.
I'm
Yeah.
just swimming next to you.
But if y'all see a roller ring out there that's vacant, make sure to call us
Please.
and let us know because we're going to go
Please.
get that thing.
We are.
Or
You guys
big
are going to
building.
love it.
Yeah, I'm
That's where
telling you.
everyone's going to book their next party at.
And can you roller skate?
Of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
Boy, I do it
Love
backwards. I do flips, everything. I'm just kidding.
Handstand. roller skate.
Handstand. I do it one leg up, one leg down. I do it with, I skate with no legs. I mean, I do it all.
On your arms.
I know.
Yes, forget Andrea, but believe me, she's something.
All
That's
right.
a wild tickling.
I tickle you and skate at the same time.
That's why I call her Diesel, guys. And believe me, if I go get her corn, she's out of there. We're gonna
I will take over the world.
Yeah, you could have your own corn stand there.
And you best believe that I will.
That's the plan. Corn and snow cone.
We're gonna have a michelada with corn, skates, man. That place gonna be like.
I'm
what?
telling
They
you.
got-
Yeah.
Oh, I'm in for it.
It's gonna have ADD written all over it.
What was the
We don't-
name? What was the name?
Rolling Blades.
Rolling Blades. There you
Rolling
go.
blades.
I like that.
Corn and snow cone. Shit. All right.
funny.
Fried
guys.
rice and egg roll in the corner.
I know. A little bit of everything.
Fried rice and egg roll. That's perfect. Hey, well, guys, thank you so
Thank
much.
you for tuning in.
Luke.
And we'll
Thank
see you
you.
guys on the next one. Bye.